Hey folks, I'm Brian Zach. Welcome to weekly vlog number 20. Now, I haven't been doing these vlogs on a weekly basis as of late, even this year, so I might change the name to just vlog or monthly vlog or something else clever that I might come up with that I haven't come up with yet. Nonetheless, rest assured that there will be more of these updates, these videos that sort of just, kind of keep you informed of what I'm doing and kind of explanations of different gigs that I'm on and different things that are happening in my career and music world. I am in Tampa, Florida. At the moment, you can probably tell that I'm in a hotel room here in Tampa, and I'm with a show called Disco Fever. And it's a show that is written for symphony orchestra, so I'm playing drum set. Enrico Yanez Lopez is the pops conductor of the Nashville Symphony, and he is the owner of this show, the creator of this show, if you will, and also the conductor. And so he has hired me to play drum set for this particular run, which includes 2 shows. We had a show last night, we have a day off today, and then we have a show tomorrow. And we'll also be heading to Detroit later on this month to do the same show for 3 more performances there. It's a wonderful gig. I'm super glad to be on it, super grateful, and we're having a blast with the music and with all of the musicians who are out here with us and the singers who have joined us, who are absolutely stellar. Everyone is doing an amazing job and super, super cool to be involved with this at every level, both on stage and off. So let's see. You might notice that I have my Mets hat on, and that is because the Mets are playing the Tampa Bay Rays this evening. As I said, I have a day off, so me and Lindsay, the guitarist, have tickets to go to the game this evening. So I'm really excited for that because I haven't seen the Mets since last year, and if you don't know me that well, if you do know me, you probably know, but if you don't know me, I'm a diehard Mets fan. I love the New York Mets. I follow them pretty daily, even when I can't watch the game. Maybe I'm working in the evening during the game or something, but I subscribe to the MLB package, and I'll stream the game later on, or else I'll just watch the condensed version of the game just so I stay up to date with all the day-to-day happenings on the field. So yeah, if you didn't know that, I'm a massive Mets fan. I'm from New York originally, so I grew up with the New York Mets. Not a Yankees fan, so sorry to all you Yankees fans out there. So anyway, I'm really excited to go to the game this evening. I've never been to the Tampa Bay Stadium here. I've heard some mixed reviews of the stadium. It's an indoor stadium, so it'll be my first time watching a ball game indoors inside of a stadium with a roof. So anyway, that's what's happening today, and so I've got my Mets City Connect hat on. If you might notice, there's it's meant to be like the Queensboro Bridge, the 59th Street Bridge. That this is the design here, and then on the back it's got NYC. So yeah, excuse my hair. So anyway, there's been a ton of things happening. I've been so busy. I've been working pretty much every day, especially leading up to this trip here in Tampa. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of those things. I mean, I've been doing a ton of work on Broadway in Nashville downtown, playing with mostly with Jimmy K and the Reckless Sidemen, but some other bands as well. And been playing at the stage, been playing at Second Fiddle, been played once at Legends. I don't know, that was a little while ago, but mostly at the stage, either rooftop or on the first level. Never fades away. I had a barbecue stand on my white t-shirt, and she was killing me in that mini skirt. Skipping knocks on the river by the railroad track. She had a suntan line and red lipstick. I worked so hard with that first kiss, and a heart don't forget. No, a heart don't forget. I said. It looks to be like that will continue as well, that type of work, and it's great, you know. I mean, it's not like I don't want to be doing that, you know, only that kind of thing. I you know, I like doing lots of other gigs too, but these Broadway gigs are, I mean, the purpose for me to do them is, number one, just to keep some cash flow coming in, even when, you know, they're so in between like bigger gigs like the one I'm on right now, you know, pays a lot more money. So, you know, I'll go home and have like maybe a week free before the next big gig comes. So I want to be able to, you know, keep the cash flow coming in. So I'll do the Broadway gigs as well. I mean, it just keeps my chops up, keeps me sharp, just keeps me in the scene, in the mix. You're always inherently, you're downtown, you'll run into somebody that you know or you haven't seen in a while, and you'll shake hands and hug and catch up, and it's always just good networking, you know. It's not, I don't think of it like that. It's just, hey, show your face, smile, maybe listen to some other bands play while you're down there. I always get there early and try to catch the band before me or some other band that's playing next door or something. And sometimes I even stay later after my gig is done and listen to the first couple of songs of the next band if I know somebody in that band. And it's always, you know, it's a good time. So that's been one thing I've been doing. I've played a jazz gig with my friends Jamie and Leaf, and that was up in Vincennes, Indiana, at this beautiful theater, and it was just a day trip. Drove up there, played the show, and then drove back. I had to actually get back to Nashville in time for the next morning because I was heading to Birmingham, Alabama with a different band. I was playing with Chris Badnews Barnes and his band, and so we were leaving at 11 a.m. to go down to Birmingham to play the Bob Sykes 13th Annual Barbecue and Blues Fest. Lots of guest artists, not guest artists, but lots of performers, lots of bands playing, and we were the last band to play. We closed out the festival just in time before the rain hit, because there was some pretty massive storms headed in that direction. And we were for about 15-20 minutes, we were even unsure if we were going to be able to play at all because the sky looked so threatening. But nonetheless, we were able to play sort of a truncated set. So I was really glad for that, because geez, to go all the way down there and get rained out and not even get to play, that would have sucked. So I'm glad we got to play. We got to play, more than we thought, because we initially thought, well, okay, we are going to play after all. I think maybe we're only going to get like 3 songs in or something, but turns out we played, I would say, at least half the set. So it was good. It was interesting getting there. We had this police escort once we got to the barbecue place, where it was like a rendezvous point for all the artists, and then they had set up this police escort to escort us into the festival area. So that was kind of cool. Got some video of that. It was a throw and go gig, which, if you don't know what that term means, it means basically just band after band, no time, like minimal time for setup or sound check. There is no sound check. So it's literally, the previous band finishes, they get off the stage, you get up on stage. I brought my cymbals and a snare drum and a pedal and maybe a throne, and had it all like preset, ready to go side stage, so that get up on stage, you're just wasting 0 time, and not wasting time, because it wouldn't be a waste, but I mean just minimal amount of time between bands. And so no sound check at all. I wasn't using in-ears or anything like that. I was just a wedge. And so it's like, just get up there and count it off as soon as possible and make any adjustments on the fly. So I got up there, started playing, and I didn't really have any electric bass in my wedge, so I had to wave the sound guy down. He wasn't really paying much attention. I had to yell over at him, but that's par for the course sometimes. There was when I got up there on the drum kit, I don't know, like, I was watching the drummer play before me, and I noticed that in between songs he had this towel, and he kept wiping the cymbals down, and like his hi-hats. I noticed him like wiping in his ride cymbal and stuff, and I was wondering, like, what is he wiping? Is he like sweating that much? Like, it wasn't that hot. It was actually kind of cold that afternoon, and so I didn't really know what he was doing with the wiping. Like, why are you wiping? Is he wiping his cymbals down in between songs? Wow, he must be like really meticulous about his shiny cymbals. No, in fact, when I got up there, when it was my turn to play, I noticed that there was blood like on the drum heads, and like, I don't know if it was from him or I mean, he didn't look like he was bleeding. I didn't notice, but apparently he either cut himself or like knocked his knuckles into a rim or something, and there was blood on the house kit, on the drum heads, and it's pretty gross. I tried to get a picture of it, but the lighting was really bad, so I don't know if you could see it. So yeah, it's kind of gross. I think he assured me that he was HIV negative or something. Just made a joke out of it. But yeah, nonetheless, kind of, yeah, I don't like that. So he must have been wiping his blood off the cymbals, is my only guess. I don't know. Yeah. What else? So I played 2 shows with Chris Badnews Barnes. While I'm on the subject, I'm his musical director and drummer, at least for these shows when I'm playing with him. He does lots of other shows outside of town and various places. I know he's played Memphis, he's played Vegas. So I don't know what he does when I'm not on the gig, but when I'm there, I'm his musical director. I'm sort of tasked with the tempo duties and counting off and the cues and just knowing and just sort of like shepherding the band to be in the right place at the right time. So it's a lot of fun. It's a blues band, so it's a lot of cool music. I really like this music. His new record is out now. It's called Badnews Travels Fast, and it was produced by Tom Hambridge, who's a producer and drummer in Nashville. And I've since learned of him and learned of his I sort of been like checking him out recently online and just doing some background work on who he is and what he's about, and listening to some podcasts that he was on recently. Really super amazing, talented drummer, producer, songwriter. I would love to meet him one day. He's been producing for Buddy Guy and playing on tour with him as of late. So unfortunately, he wasn't at either of these shows. So I did another show with Chris at Third and Lindsley earlier this week. I was hoping that maybe Tom might come out and see the show, but it turns out he was on the road with Buddy Guy. Darn. But yeah, it would have been cool to meet him. Hopefully one day I'll get to meet him, and I would love to just sort of pick his brain about things and sponge any sort of information I can from him. So yeah, we played another show at Third and Lindsley. A little bit of a smaller band, no horns this time, but we did have two guest artists. Vanessa Collier, I hope I'm saying it right, Collier, I hope I'm saying her last name right. Vanessa Collier, she's awesome, blues artist, plays sax, plays guitar, sings, and the other guest artist was Mike Zito, blues guitarist, singer, songwriter. Really awesome to meet both of them and to work with both of them. With Mike, there was very little rehearsal. He had just gotten in town the morning of the show. With Vanessa, we had a little bit of a rehearsal. I think it was the previous day. So got to feel her out a little bit more in terms of what she likes and how she wants to present the music. Working with guest artists like that on a like super crunched schedule, it can be a little bit difficult because you're coming in, we're strangers to each other, and we don't really know each other and what we're about. They're coming into a strange situation with a strange band. They don't necessarily trust you yet. And as the drummer and MD, all I can do is listen to their music, and I did that and prepare as much as possible. I mean, I even was looking up some live YouTube footage of these artists just to kind of see how they are on stage and how they work and what they're about, and if the songs are drastically different in a live setting versus on the recordings that were sent. Little things like that can go a long way. So yeah, and so and everybody seemed very happy with all the performance, and it was just kind of hugs at the end and high fives, and so that was great. We had a great show. I had but I had some really nice compliments on my snare sound at the Third and Lindsley show. I was using my Canopus BB black nickel over brass snare drum. It's a 6-inch by 14, and it kills. That was the drum that I was using with Tracy Lawrence on the road, and it's a loud drum, but it's sort of their version of a Black Beauty. I love that drum, and it's It's great, and I just started kind of using it a little bit more frequently around town on some of my gigs, just because I just sort of rediscovered, not even rediscovered, but I brought it out one day and I was just like, oh, this drum sounds really good. I'm going to use it for this, that, and the other. So, just been using it on different gigs. Sometimes I'll just go through phases where I'll use a snare drum for a lot of different gigs for a while. Not every drum, certain drums are only good for certain things, but I have various snare drums that are sort of workhorse drums that are great for a lot of different situations, and one of them is that Canopus BB snare drum. So I had tons of compliments on that. Really great audience. I'm really happy with my new cymbals that I've been using. The main one being the 21-inch Exist Ride. It's just a great workhorse ride cymbal, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've never met a 21-inch ride that I didn't like. It's the truth. It's just got a great bell. It's got a nice stick articulation to wash ratio, if that makes any sense. So it still retains the stick definition, like the tick, 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 tick. And you can, and if I hit it, a certain way, I can manipulate to make it sort of wash and wash out. So it has all of the goods: the bell, the articulation, and the wash. And it's not too dark, it's not too bright. It is a little brighter than some of the other cymbals that I have, but not in a harsh way at all. And it's just a great all-around cymbal. So I've been using that a lot. And I was using on my right side, I was using my 20-inch Exist Crash. I had to get a new one because my old one was cracked, and it just got to the point where the thing was going to fall apart pretty soon. So, and it sounds great. For those of you who are searching for cymbals, check out Istanbul Agop, and specifically their Exist line, which really is meant to be sort of almost like a budget line of their cymbals, but they don't sound budget. Yes, they are a little cheaper than their hand hammered, the traditionals and the signatures and whatnot. But especially if you're a student or a young, up and coming drummer, and maybe you don't have a ton of money to blow on cymbals, check out the Agop Exist line. They're really great cymbals. Really, for the price, you can't beat it, really. And yes, I do endorse Istanbul Agop cymbals, so do with that what you will. Let's see. On the subject of snare drums, I started a snare spotlight series here on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that yet, click up there and I'll link to it. There's 2 videos so far. I've done the Tama SLP dry aluminum snare, and I also did the Canopus Yaiba birch snare. So if you've seen both of those, or if you haven't, but go to that link and check it out, and let me know if there's another snare drum that you would let me know what snare drum to focus on next. I have many snares, over 20, and so I'm just one by one trying to focus on these snare drums one by one with a video, like about once per month or so. So let me know if there's a drum you want me to focus on. I've got Ludwig Superphonics. I've got a, what do you call it, like a Supra 5x14. I've got a 6.5 by 14 hammered bronze. I've got an acrolite. I've got the Canopus NV50 M1, which is a 3-ply maple gum maple. I've got more Tama SLP snares. I've got the Bubinga. I have the walnut. So and many more. I've got a Camco maple. I've got a, let's see, I'm trying to think what else. I have a Gretsch field drum, all kinds. So just let me know in the comments. Write it in the comments and let me know if there's a snare drum you want me to focus on for the next snare spotlight video. I've been doing a lot of session work lately. It's never as much as I want it to be, but this year has been good for the session work, and doing a lot of songs over the internet from home, remote tracking, and I hope that continues. Really, really enjoy that process, and using the space that I have. It's such a beautiful space to play and record in. I did a gig, as I said, I was doing some Broadway work with Jimmy K and the Reckless Sidemen, and on one of the gigs, we had, we had a special guest sit in and play the whole gig with us, and his name is Gary Morse. He plays steel guitar with Brooks and Dunn, the band, and really, wow, he was just amazing. He sounds so good. He took some solos that were just so cool, so tasteful. I love the steel guitar as an instrument, and especially when somebody like Gary Morse is playing it, it's just amazing. So yeah, that was a lot of fun getting to play with him and meet him, and super nice guy, and I hope he had as much fun as we did, or I hope he had half as much fun as we did having him getting to play. So another gig that I've started doing, another band, is called JC in the Trees, and my friend Jared Kamek, he plays bass and sings, he leads the band, and we've been playing some shows at Scoreboard, which is a venue that I had not ever worked in before. I had been there a few times, but so it was a first for me just getting to play there, and it's a nice, really relaxed environment. It's off Broadway, so it's still in Nashville, but it's just it's across from the Opry Mills Hotel, and it's just the atmosphere there is a little bit more relaxed. It's a sports bar. They serve great food and drinks, and it's sort of like an open air venue. It remains to be seen how hot it will get during the summer, but it's it's a lot of fun playing there, and he's Jared's got a great cool set list of songs that you don't typically get to play. There's some yacht rock stuff mixed in there, and there's some other things, classic rock and whatnot. So there's some things that I had to learn that were a little bit unfamiliar to me, but we do some country music as well, so that a lot of fun. A lot of the older stuff, more of the 70s rock and 70s country, that kind of thing. So a lot of fun. They, at that venue and at other venues, they don't have any overhead mics. So I made a post recently on social media about using or bringing an overhead mic, and how I think it's a really great idea. And I know I've talked about this before, but when I posted, it just got so much, so many comments, and people, just commenting on the video, and just feedback from the video, or it wasn't even a video, it was just a picture really, but it was, I was just explaining how helpful it can be when you're using in-ears for your mix, and there's no overhead mic, so you're not going to have any cymbal sound in your mix. You just have close mics. You just have kick, snare, tom mics. There's no hi-hat. There's no cymbals. There's no top end. Got some racing going on downstairs. So I bring this overhead mic, and if you just ask the sound person super politely and respectfully, and just ask, hey, like, is it cool? I brought this mic. Do you have a mic stand, a cable, or a channel that you want to plug it into? And it's not for you. It's just for me to, so my monitoring, in this way. And I'll even say, like, you don't even have to, like, if you don't have a channel, or if you don't want to plug it into your mixer, I have an open channel on my mixer, and so we can just do that. And I've done that before too. But 9 times out of 10, it seems like the sound person is very open to that idea. I think sometimes they just get bored on their gig, and the idea of, like, something new to do is kind of exciting to them, maybe. And so, an overhead mic. I'll play around with that. Yeah, sure, why not? We don't normally use one in here, but yeah, let's try it and see. Seems to be the attitude that I get. And so everyone has been willing to try it out and see. And I mean, the general feedback I get from them, either mid-set or at the end of the gig, is, oh, wow, yeah, I used it actually in the mix a little bit. Or, I mean, the one guy told me when I was at Scoreboard, he told me, yeah, you know what? He's like, I turned off all the close mics and I just used the overhead mic. So I was like, wow, it's like, why don't we just do that instead? Why don't we, like, lose all the close mics and just use a kick mic and, like, a stereo pair of overheads? And that would be so much easier to mix as well, and to dial in a mix, like an in-ear mix. I don't know. I don't understand these clubs and their ways of doing things. It's always backwards and upside down. But whatever. So, I mean, problem solved, right? Is just bring the little overhead mic. And I use an MXL drum cube, which is a large diaphragm condenser mic, but you don't need that. I mean, I paid $50 for this stupid thing, but I mean, any small diaphragm condenser would work. Even a stupid SM57 would work in a situation, and I have done that, where, like, a 58, it's all we have is a 58. Okay, throw it up there. Let's dial in some, high frequency EQ, and there you go. There's your overhead mic. Because really, you're just looking to get the articulation from the cymbals, the ride, the hat, and the crashes, and so that way I'm not bashing on the crashes because I can't hear them in my in-ears, whereas I can hear the kick, the snare, the close mics really, really well, and it's like really hot in the mix. You go to hit the cymbal and nothing, you're not getting any aural feedback from what you're hitting, so your brain tells you, oh, I need to play that louder because I don't hear it very well. So what ends up happening is you play the cymbals louder than you really typically would. So I've talked about this ad nauseum in the past, but here I am talking about it again. I'm preaching this, so if somebody missed the message somehow, here I am preaching the message again. So try that. If you've not tried that, do it. Check it out. What else? I've been doing I've been trying to start my day with some exercise, and that's not anything new. Like, I've been going to the gym for many years, but lately I've just found that it's a little easier to not have to get in my car and pack a bag, like a gym bag, go to the gym. I end up spending at least an hour there, probably, if sometimes more, 90 minutes, and then get out of the gym clothes, change, get back in the car, drive home, deal with traffic. You know, it ends up being like 2 hours, and that's a lot out of my day. On most days when I'm busy and I have all sorts of things that I need to be doing. So I found that, well, I still like going to the gym, and I will continue to do that from time to time. I've been doing these sort of home workouts. So when the weather is nice, I'll go outside and walk, and there's this loop around my house that's about a 2-mile walk, just over 2 miles, and I'll put my headphones in, get the podcasts going, or just listening to some music or whatever. Sometimes I'll just not listen to anything and just listen to sounds around me, the birds chirping or what have you. And go on the walk, do a brisk walk, and then I'll get home and just do some simple body weight squats, push-ups, sit-ups, a few stretching exercises, and this sort of thing. And it's all done like within an hour. It's all, and so it's a little easier to accomplish. And I've also found that, like, that's kind of all you need to do. Like, you don't need to lift heavy weights. You don't need to get on this treadmill and, like, do all these, like, 12% incline, hiking up the treadmill. And I mean, it's just, you just get a better workout, and you're outside, you're getting vitamin D from the sun. Like, it just feels better for some reason. And it's almost kind of hard to explain, but I've really been enjoying it. Ask me in July when it's 100 degrees outside and whether this will continue, and I don't know. But for the moment, the weather has been really nice, been really cooperative. So this is what I've been doing, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like it's made my days go better. Like, my attitude has been better. It's just my thinking is clearer, and my body feels great, like playing the drums afterwards. I'm not all like worn out. Sometimes I go to the gym and I do like too much, and I'll like get home and all I want to do is like lie down. I'll be like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose, I think, because it's like I just wore myself out at the gym, just like doing all these things. And yeah, like, it feels great while you're doing it, but then you get home and you come down off of that rush of endorphins, and you just want to like lie down for an hour. And that's, again, like, between the time it takes to do the gym workout and then you come home and now you want to lie down, like, there's not enough hours in the day for all of that. So if I continue to go to the gym, which I know I will, but if I continue to do the gym workouts on a regular basis, I need to sort of be mindful of, like, okay, don't do too much. Just go there for like 30 minutes maybe, and just do whatever you can fit in 30 minutes, and then get out of there. So that way I'm not just completely worn out physically for the rest of the day. So these are things that I think about. Trying to think if there's anything else. I will talk more in the next vlog about the gig I'm on, the Disco Fever show. But for now, I just wanted to kind of catch you up on all the things that I've been doing. And I've skipped over so many things. Trust me. I mean, I could make this video 2 hours long, but I won't do that to you. I do want to thank you if you've come this far and you've hung with me this far. thank you for sticking around and for listening to me blab on about my life and my career. But I do hope that I'm offering some information that is helpful maybe along the way as I describe to you these gigs and my sort of thought processes of what goes into the gigs, and after the gig what I think about and things that I want to make better, and just ways of doing things that are always going to improve. I do want to mention my band MILEStones, which is a tribute to Miles Davis, is playing this coming Wednesday, May 8th at Rudy's Jazz Room, 9 p.m. And I'm super excited to be returning back to Rudy's with the band. I got the A-list lineup. Nobody had to sub out. It's always great when that happens. I have yet to write the set list, but that's next on the agenda. And so get your tickets at rudysjazzroom.com. May 8th, Wednesday evening, 9 p.m. So I do hope to see a packed house that evening. I think that's it for the moment. I'm going to get ready to get going at this. About an hour, I'm going to be leaving for the ball field to go see the Mets. So, yeah, thank you for watching this, for donating your time. There's so much content out there, and I just appreciate all of your eyeballs watching my videos, humbly. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget I teach drum lessons online and in person. And don't forget I have a Patreon page, patreon.com/BrianZach, where I do all sorts of in-depth videos, lessons, instructionals, career advice, on and on. So check that out. And until next time, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.